Well, hello, my friends. We meet again. It's been a while. Where should we begin? 5:45, nice and early in the morning. Evelyn and I are heading to Las Vegas today to go see Death to All, as you can see in the video title down below. It's going to be a fun time. We're going to go to Lost Wages. You know, I don't drink or gamble, but you know, what stays in Vegas, or what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Just kidding. Or am I?
Well, you know, I had to do it again. I had to go travel to go see Death to All play. If you haven't seen it, about a year and a half ago, I went to actually see the same tribute band, same lineup and everything. Although last time it was in Vancouver, so you can go check out that video here if you would like. But this time, the show in question was actually in Las Vegas, Lost Wages. And I have to shout out my boy Faye and Stream for the kick in the ass to come see the show. He was the one who messaged me, and, you know, time of the show and everything just worked out. We had great deals on flights. It was like 2 days for my birthday, so it was totally worth it. Thanks, bro. I really appreciate it. Make sure you go check out his channel here, boys. And, yeah, it was 2 days for my 31st birthday, so it all just kind of worked out well in all regards. Anyways, we flew out nice and early, and after a brief layover in Vancouver, we landed in Las Vegas at around 1 p.m., which was great. You know, we had like the whole day.
Oh, we got outside a little bit.
Say it now.
We just landed Las Vegas. Now you're happy.
I hadn't been to Las Vegas in probably like 10 years since my parents last took me with them. And honestly, I don't even think I was 21 at the time, last time I went. Not that I drink anyways, but I'll review the show first, and then I'll tell you guys my thoughts on Vegas and some of the other stuff we did while we were there. And you know, why am I doing this? Well, to make the entire trip a tax write-off, of course.
Money!
What's up, boys? Okay, we made it to Las Vegas. Just meeting up with Faye and Stream here right away. You know, got to get the nice energy drink. I think I've only had 2 granola bars today. We were up at what, like 4:30 a.m. I woke up, but it's like 2:30 now, so I'm pretty hungry. We're gonna go get some In-N-Out. Death concerts in like a few hours. Yeah, I'm fucking stoked, boys. Let's go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So after a nap and some In-N-Out burger after we arrived, which by the way, it's like the cheapest food on the strip, so it's well worth the walk to go and get it. It's also delicious, top tier quality slop. So we met up with fans. We made our way over to the concert, which was at the House of Blues. This is a cool venue inside a casino, and I completely forgot the name of the casino. It doesn't really matter. You know, really quick, I found it quite funny that the designated smoking pit was simply just outside the venue, but it was still inside the casino. For some reason, that made me laugh, as back in Canada, you know, the smoker's pit is like always outside, and it's always freezing cold. So yeah, you know, Fance and I enjoyed a nice backwood cigar in there while we were getting some merch. We arrived basically just as Gorguts was starting, which was the opening band.
When you're ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, we're here with Sick, Fan Stream, both literally and figuratively.
What's going
We're
on?
here at the Death to All concert. Let's fucking go. I'm so stoked.
Hell yeah. Flew all the way from Calgary for this.
Oh yeah, all the way from Alberta to Las Vegas. Here we go.
Totally.
Let's
Super
go.
stoked. Legends.
Shout out to my fellow Canadians. Gorguts is one of those bands which never ever clicked for me. You know, mad respect to these guys though, but it's just not for me. Insanely influential and ahead of their time, but honestly, I just think my IQ is a little bit too low to enjoy Gorguts. They sounded great live, however, and I really loved the singer's deep, powerful gutturals while he was playing guitar. Very impressive as well. It was also pretty interesting to watch the crowd try to mosh to the perpetually changing odd type signatures that Gorguts has. Yeah, that was cool. So Gorguts finished up their set, and shortly thereafter, Death to All took the stage. So the lineup here was the same that was at the Vancouver show, the one that I saw. They played The Sound of Perseverance that time, which was incredibly bass, one of my favorite albums of all time. And this time around, it was the Symbolic Healing Tour, which meant that they played a majority of Spiritual Healing and then all of Symbolic. I did find it weird that they didn't play Low Life, though, from Spiritual Healing, but you know, that's just me. I thought that was one of the more popular songs on Spiritual Healing, but I guess not. Now, this lineup is actually almost the same lineup that would have been on Symbolic, right? Gene Hoglan on the sticks, Bobby Kobla on guitar, and the GOAT, Steve DiGiorgio, on bass. Now, I say almost the lineup we had for the Symbolic album is obviously Chuck isn't here, and Steve DiGiorgio, he wasn't on the album, but he recorded a few demos, but couldn't commit ultimately, and thus we got Kelly Conlon to play bass on Symbolic. So it's really cool to hear Steve DiGiorgio's take on the bass lines that we never got to hear. Really, really cool, interesting stuff. He's just so good, man. I love Steve DiGiorgio. Probably my favorite metal bassist.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
So then rounding out the lineup is Max Phelps, who I'm going to be making a video on separately. He deserves it really soon here, but bro is honestly maybe the most impressive vocalist that I've ever seen live, tied with Russell Allen from Symphony X, actually. He mimics every Chuck era just so precisely that is actually mind-blowing. You can almost close your eyes and you can't really tell the difference. All while playing guitar too, mind you. So I'll talk about him just a second here, but let's just say he does an absolutely amazing job being the avatar of Chuck. So right away, they start off the set with Living Monstrosity, getting, you know, straight into the Spiritual Healing material. Gotta love it. First thing that myself and fans noticed is just how amazing the sound was. I think it comes across in some of the iPhone videos that I'll put in here, but when I saw them in Vancouver, they sounded great, but maybe this time the sound guy refined his technique, or maybe it was the room and the venue itself, but man, they just sounded so incredible here. Easily probably the best sounding show I've ever heard. It was just so good. So include some clips, of course, but the volume was very, very reasonable. For me, there's nothing worse for sound clarity than a really, really loud show, in my opinion. Every guitar was distinct and clear. You could hear all of Steve DiGiorgio's fretless bass artistry, and maybe most importantly of all, Gene Hoglan's cymbals were very, very loud and clear in the mix. It's a given, right, for a drummer that the kicks and snare will be mic'd and really sounding good, as that's very important, but to me, nothing kills like energy and momentum than quiet or even inaudible cymbals for a drummer. So it makes a big difference. And this is especially true with Gene Hoglan's like incredible dexterous cymbal playing. I was very, very pleased, let's just say. The solo tones were also exceptional, and you know, I'm not really sure how he does it, but Max Phelps' tone really, really, really sounds like Chuck's, especially on Symbolic songs. It's incredibly impressive. But yeah, anyways, they started with Living Monstrosity and Defensive Personalities, two Spiritual Healing songs back to back. You know, now I'm not like the biggest fan of Spiritual Healing, guys. You know, don't get me wrong, it's still excellent stuff. But to me, I find it really suffers from a very flat, dry, and unexciting production, especially on the drums, which, you know, no shade to Bill Ward, but these riffs and songs sort of deserved a more expressive and less rigid performance, I guess you could say, which our boy Gene Hoglan absolutely delivered, right? The extra cymbal fills and energy that Gene gave to these songs, as well as a different sound and production, right? Really, really made them pop. honestly not gonna lie, guys, this show kind of changed my opinion on a lot of the spiritual healing material itself. Really, really did. After these two songs, the band then played a string of songs not from either of the two albums previously mentioned, and I have to give them props as they actually played a song off of every single Death album, including all the other ones, right? Including the spiritual healing and symbolic stuff. Lack of Comprehension, Zombie Ritual, and The Philosopher were the non-tour songs, I guess you could say, that they played here in this first half of the set. Altering the Future, Within the Mind, and Spiritual Healing rounded up the first half of this set here. Now, Within the Mind was just so crushingly heavy live, just holy shit, absolutely unreal. And man, Spiritual Healing with that crazy tapping chorus, you know the one, man, was just something so special to see live. I just felt blessed by the metal gods.
So good.
After Spiritual Healing was finished, the band took a break and Steve DiGiorgio said some words before they moved on to playing all of Symbolic in its entirety, which was also kind of cool that they played both title tracks back to back, right? Spiritual Healing and Symbolic back to back. And hearing those two songs together sort of really made it apparent just how fucking good Max Phelps is vocally. He just absolutely nails it. Switching back and forth between the Chuck eras is just crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. And hearing all the Symbolic songs played live is just so incredibly special. You know, like how many times have I listened to this album over and over and over again before this? It's just absolutely awe-inspiring experience. I loved it. Zero Tolerance is a real highlight for me. That song is just all Gene Hoglan, and he just fucking nailed it, killed it. And the addition of those really, really cool bass lines that Steve DiGiorgio would do actually just added so much to an already amazing song. Bobby Kobla brought out his custom 29 fret guitar to play his solos here as well. You know, truly just amazing, man. I was like speechless the whole time. All I could do was sing along with the songs and then shout out, "Hell yeah, brother!" at like the top of my lungs afterwards. Empty Words was another highlight. That clean intro was just such a vibe. And then of course, right, that epic chorus. You know, I'm not gonna like go through everything here, but the clean bridge and Sacred Serenity was just fantastic as well. The chorus of 1,000 Eyes, and of course, right, the exceptional groove of the chorus of Misanthrope, head of all mankind. And if anything, you know, hearing all the Symbolic songs next to the Spiritual Healing tracks really just highlighted to me just how like next level Symbolic was. Truly just on some crazy shit. Chuck was just out of control. So good, man. Crystal Mountain was cool. They played the acoustic solo electric as they played like a little ostinato to end it. and then they ended off with Perennial Quest. You know, hearing that song live was something else. I made a deep dive about that song if you want to check it out, but hearing it live really just sort of reinforced to me that this was sort of like the first Control Denied song. Just so many weird offbeat tempo changes and twists and turns in the song. And of course, right, that awe-inspiring under solo riff with that crazy solo. Oh man, it was just so good, man. I can't say enough good things about it. After that song was over, they played the acoustic ending to Perennial Quest over the PA while the band took it. Then they came back and did some encores, Pull the Plug, and Spirit Crusher. Again, this really just highlighted just how good Max is at imitating Chuck vocally. You know, he nailed Spirit Crusher at the end of an honestly really long, like 2-hour set. Just killed it. And then the Pull the Plug vocals too. Just crazy to me how he can switch between, you know, late era Chuck, the super high pitched, and then, you know, Pull the Plug from Leprosy. Very, very different vocally, right? And he just switched between them so easily. It was just crazy to me. So impressive. I can't say how impressive it was enough, guys. You know, when I saw them in Vancouver, they actually played the Painkiller cover as one of the last songs too, and Max Phelps, like, he imitated the Chuck version of Painkiller too with the actual like clean singing. Man, honestly, like, Max Phelps truly, I think, is one of the most underrated vocalists going out there right now. Make sure you check out him and his band Exist. Really, really epic, great prog metal as well, man. I can't say enough about this guy. Like I said, I'll be making a video on him soon, so look out for that. But yeah, Spirit Crusher live just always kills, man. Pull the Plug, it's just so good. Those are just such great songs to end on. All in all, absolutely an 11 out of 10 Omega bass concert, 10 out of 10 set list, 10 out of 10 performances from everyone in the band. Great sound. You know, massive respect for Death to All for continually touring and paying tribute to the tragic musical genius of Chuck Schuldiner.
Okay, guys, well, yeah, just show just finished. Actually insane. Probably like the best show I've ever seen. The best sounding show I've ever seen too. Yeah, everyone agrees. Like, it was a pretty low volume show, but man, did it ever just sound so clean, so precise. Like we were chatting too, the lead tone that Max Phelps had was like almost exactly what was on like Symbolic record. It was actually crazy. I couldn't believe it.
No, that performance was special. There's no one out there in the entire world putting on a performance like that. It's absolutely incredible. The tone was perfect, the soul that was there, the character was there. Best metal show ever. One of the best concerts I've ever been to. Probably the best.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know much that. Absolutely.
Wow, that's high praise.
Oh, well, what did you think?
Should I give you the phone? Okay.
Yeah, Evelyn came and watched it too.
Yeah, well, of course I did. I mean, someone has to make proof that we were all there. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed listening to them live significantly more than I enjoyed listening to them on the album. Like, it just made, I was just that much more engaged. I loved the lighting.
Yes.
The lighting was incredible. It was just so good, and it was just, you know, it was really fun. I enjoyed it. It was a little long though.
Like just to be able to perform that whole thing, like just watching them, like I was like tired.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine performing that, like he was saying, like, you know, on tour, on the road, away from home, doing that. Actually, just crazy, man.
No, but they're the most professional band I've ever seen. Absolutely incredible.
They
They're
was
there, and they're in their 60s.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no click track, just G Hoagland. He's the click track. Steve DiGiorgio, only 3 strings on the bass.
Barefoot.
Barefoot. That's what
Barefoot, why were his dogs out?
Because that's his vibe. That's
I
Steve
loved
DiGiorgio, Stevie D.
He's
Oh my
connecting
gosh.
with their
So good.
That was Bobby just shredding, bro. And of course, Max Phelps, man.
So anyone that has the opportunity to see Death to All, go. However, much of a risk it might be to go, you have to go. It is extremely special to see these guys do that. They won't do it forever.
Yeah, we had to come to Las Vegas to see it. Had to go to Vancouver before. Go.
Go. Unbelievable.
If you ever have the opportunity to go see them, I implore you guys to do so. Make the trip. So after that, Fans and our girls, who shout out to both of them for coming along with us. And a special shout out to my beautiful Evelyn for getting all the concert footage so I could just nerd out and enjoy myself. Thank you, babe. I appreciate you. Love you. We went out and found the cheapest blackjack table at Excalibur, played some hands for going to bed, exhausted from that long ass day. Now, Las Vegas is like an interesting place. I don't think I would ever come back unless there was some concert or event that I wanted to see. You know, I don't drink, right? I don't really gamble. I think I spent 25 bucks on blackjack, but you know, Las Vegas sort of being like a peripheral experience of the concert was something really cool, and I enjoyed myself quite a bit. It was just, yeah, it was excellent. You know, I don't drink anymore. I think it's actually been like 3 years actually, and neither did Fans and the girls. So it was actually a cool experience. So not drinking actually made it not all that expensive either. We basically just walked around gobsmacked by all the lights and noises. Truly just hyper stimulating shit here. You know, don't get me wrong, Vegas on the strip is crazy expensive, especially with how bad the exchange rate with the Canadian peso is with the USD. But still, it's a fun experience to kind of walk around and find these little oases in the desert that aren't so expensive. You know, I was able to find a gas station within walking distance of the MGM Grand. We were staying, you know, to get that Monster and Diet Coke addiction going on. And like I said earlier, Evelyn and I actually ate twice at In-N-Out too. Yeah, man, it's just so interesting to me. You know, obviously Las Vegas is sort of like the antithesis of the more, you know, quote unquote cultured trips I've taken over the last 10 years, which I think every vacation I've taken the last 10 years was just going to Europe. I think I went to Europe like 4 times. You know, Las Vegas is just so unabashedly shameless in its ability to scam you. You just kind of have to respect it. You know what I mean? It's why it's such a tourist destination, right? It's just like hyper capitalism with zero shame about it. And honestly, it's just kind of based, you know, and viewed like that, I don't even feel bad about paying like 12 USD for a slice of pizza. You know, it's expected. You're here in the middle of the desert. Of course, it's going to be fucking crazy expensive. You know what I mean? You just kind of swallow it and it is what it is. It honestly feels better being ripped off here in Vegas. You know, I'm already braced for impact, so to speak. It's way worse than when you go to some like tourist destination in say like Germany or something like that. And then they hit you with that 14 euro Diet Coke or something like that. It's just such a shock, right? But in Vegas, it's sort of like, well, you know, what did you expect? Another thing I thought was interesting was just the mix of peoples here, right? We stayed at the MGM, so there was like these serfs walking around, and then there was me and all the other plebeians mixed in with all the patrician classes. And finally, right, you would even catch small glimpses of like the ultra rich. Just a really fascinating experience how everyone from different classes comes to have a good time here in Las Vegas. And, you know, really you have to give them props for marketing to everyone, I guess, right? But all in all, I had an absolutely fantastic time. And I would definitely go back if there was some other concert I would like to go see. You know, maybe when we were young or some shit like that. I just want to say thank you again to Fans. And thank you guys for watching the video so I can write this shit off on my taxes and pay the People's Republic of Canada a few less pesos come next April. Have you guys seen Death to All play, or have you been to Vegas? Leave your experiences down below in the comments, boys. You know, I've been Varvis. Cheers. Thank you for watching. Death to All. Let's go. Keeping death alive. Gotta love it. Cheers.